Hello there, you beautiful people, and welcome to the only game where Cougars rule the skies. It is Supreme Commander Forge the Lions Forever, and today we're looking at a 3 versus 3 team matchmaker game played on a map made for this match, and this match only. It is none other than the beautiful, beautiful map gen. And let's get right into player introductions, starting with Team 1, the red team up in the north, and ending with Team 2, the blue team down in the south. Let's go ahead and start with the furthest back rearguard position for Team 1. It is a maroon Seraphim, worst faction, going first land at a rating of 874. It is none other than the Dawn. Moving on to the orange Cybran, going first land at 121 rating. It is none other than Vex. And of course, rocking that orange color as he moves southward. And we of course have a red UEF going first land, the highest rated player in the game today, 1,122 rating behind his name, which is Zoom. And of course, we can move on to the southern team, starting with the dark blue Seraphim going first land at 653 rating. It is none other than not a 67, or actually it's not a 76. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. As we move up to the north with the purple UEF going first land at 452 rating. It is none other than Stows. And last but not least, we have a light blue Seraphim, worst faction, going first land at 1016 rating. It is none other than Please. Now, of course, this game is blasphemous as there are no Aeon in it, but we will overlook that fact as I have been assured this game is great. And we're going to have a good time watching it here today. And if you want to know more about this map, well, just stay tuned because we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Of course, the map is mapped in, so it's completely random, but there is about 10,000 reclaim for these players to scoop into their coffers and turn into presumably mostly T2 mexes and maybe some land units. And of course, we have to look at the ways these players can attack each other. There are pawns up here in the north, and of course ones near the bases of these players, but these pawns are imposters. They lie. You can't really get anything out of them unless you're Cybran and want to walk some Salems onto land. Not saying it won't happen, but it's very unlikely. And of course, the main amount of fighting we're going to see is going to be along this line right here, this double-sided arrow I drawn, and this entire middle area. That's where we're going to see most of the fighting going on. We might see some fighting breaking out in the choke point here between the bases if one of the sides controls the plateau particularly well, but other than that, that's where we expect to see all the action happening. And if you want more FAF action in your feed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you like, and you go down below leaving a comment telling me how amazing FAF is. Now, of course, we are gonna be watching these players get at it, and you know what, since it's a little bit slow here in the early game, we're going to speed it up to +2 just temporarily. We do have some harassing bands of units coming out from both Zoom and Puis. They're both sending out a striker or a thumb respectively with a scout that they're going to try and get some damage done with. Of course, Puis is going to go for a very roundabout route. This Thom gonna have to make its way through a maze in order to get into the bases. I don't know if he really thought that one out. Maybe just trying to deny anybody from getting to this pond over here. And of course, our first little bit of fighting breaking out here in the middle. And unfortunately, the Seraphim weakness shows yet again as Puis loses his first tank and does not really get anything in return for that. Now, over here to the east, Puis does have another tank out onto the field. It almost dies, but does manage to pick up an engineer. Unfortunately, it's about to be walked on by the commander of Dawn. Seraphim killing Seraphim. Tell me a better combination. As these two players gonna duke it out. And, yep, that's a dead Selin, dead Thumb. Good kills over there on the Dawn. And over here, we have ourselves a couple of Mantis that are going to die, and a couple of Thumbs going to go down as well. Yep, just even trades going on here in the middle. I would say that I think the northern team, looking a little bit stronger here, has a slightly higher concentration of units. And the southern team has both of their comms here, both of the comms of the northern team here as well. Speed and range now on the way for Vex. And of course on the southern side, Please and Stows currently trying to make their way forward. And of course, Zoom and the Dawn trying to get some aggression going on down here in the south, and there's really not much to stop them. Please and maybe Nada need to get a little bit more aggressive on this side. The Dawn pushing forward. I believe that the Dawn and Nada most likely players to be going for any kind of heavy air play here. So would be surprised if we see anybody else really going for T3 air in this map, but I feel like either of them could also decide to play heavily towards the land side of the map and just try and take over this southeastern corner. We will have to see, as Please now trying to fight off Zoom, who has, by all accounts, overextended. Highest rated player here, and he's gotten a little bit full of himself as he's pushing forward into all of these units coming out from Please and the two comms of both Stows and Please, and the commander of Vex stops the gun upgrade. It was pretty close to finishing, I believe, so that's going to be a really unfortunate situation. Zoom costing his team quite a little bit there with that misstep out from his UEF commander. Gonna have to see if he can make up for that mistake. Luckily, nobody on the southern team is going for a gun upgrade, so they're not going to be punished by getting gun super late compared to their opponents. Now, of course, we see the commander of the Dawn. He is going to be making his way up over here. Maybe he's going to try and go for some kind of hero play where he tries to trap the two commanders here in a 3 versus 2. The commander of Vex just sitting here firing into Please, and Please just taking it. Nano repair now on the way for Zoom. Wants to get that HP back up quickly. The commander of the Dawn, he's here. He's going to be able to take out all these tanks, but he will take a lot of damage on the commander for it. Not, I mean, I guess maybe not if the thumbs just run away. And he's going to get a little bit of progress towards a veterancy rank up there. Damage and range now on the way for Stas. Nano repair much further along for Zoom, but nano repair doesn't really affect your damage output. And of course, right here we have a few units out from Zoom. He wants to get pushed in here, and if he can manage it, it'll be very good. And there's really just not much coming out. I'd like to see some units coming out from the factory of Please to make their way down here, but that just doesn't seem to be happening. A lot of Shift G commands also coming out from Zoom. Very interesting micro coming out from him. And yeah, the Dawn here is trying to make a push out towards Please and Stas. And yeah, it's going very ambitiously for him. He thinks he's gonna get something done, but honestly, he might just be overextending, much like his ally Zoom did not so long ago. And of course, Zoom is currently killing off more production over here for Please. It's a very unfortunate time in that circle. And of course, Zoom is gonna be very happy with that, especially if he manages to get the factory. Is he gonna manage to get the factory? I don't know. We now have the Illuminati of comms here. As you see, this triangle, we'll put a little eye in it. Right now, for the northern team, it is the power triangle for them. And of course, Zoom getting a damage and range finish up. T2 almost done for Vex. And the Dawn is sitting there unupgraded and not upgrading whatsoever. Now, of course, have a lot of units over here from Please. And this could have been a bit of a mistake out of Zoom. He kind of kicked the hornet's nest. He convinced Please to send a bunch of units down here to the south, and he hasn't been reinforcing that area for a little while. He is pushing here in this middle area, trying to get some damage done. Really a big fan of the Shift G move. Likes to get his units... I think maybe he thinks it moves the units a little bit faster, but that's only in specific scenarios. I guess it does concentrate the damage, but Please could walk over. Oh, he wasted his overcharge on one unit. That could have been dangerous. As Zoom pushes forward, walks behind the column of Stows, who has a gun upgrade. And that is a lot of units on top of the commander of Please. And Please may have just overextended. Both of the high-rated players here getting a little bit full of themselves. And Please looks like he may go down. I mean, maybe a really good overcharge could get him another rank of veterancy. No, he's nowhere close. And Please gonna go down first, but Zoom almost assuredly has his head on the chopping block, and the Executioner is a... Oh, the Dawn eats a shot. Oh, the Dawn could eat a few more shots. The Dawn could keep eating shots, but Zoom... The Dawn miss-microing this heavily. Zoom walking away. Zoom may be able to get out of this one, but no, both commanders go up in flames. And does the Dawn survive this? I can't find... His commander is still there. And now we're looking at a 1 versus 2 on the map at the 11-minute mark. And we have Nada, the 653 rated player, against the Dawn and Vex, and that is going to be a brutal fight indeed for him. Let's get this mini-map in a better position for you all. And the Dawn, with kind of a hero play there, he kept his ally alive just long enough to make sure that they traded, so very nice play coming out from him there. Very good teamwork. Vex also sitting here pretty... He's sitting pretty. He has T2. He can just start PD creeping his opponents. And we have another push coming out from Nada. He's just trying to get in here and deal some damage. And he really wants to get into this space right here. Because if he does, he'll be smiling, because he can deal a lot of damage to all of this build power, and maybe even if he gets really lucky, no, he's not going to get anything from this. He's going to kill off some T2 mexes. And Vex, he's PD creeping. He just needs to keep this up. Just build a line of T2 PD towards your opponent. T3 air has been finished up by the Dawn. Unfortunately, though, he didn't get his second T2 Pigeon online, so building that T3 Pigeon is going to be very difficult. T2 air is done for Nada, but isn't quite going for T3 just yet. Instead, going to build some Nathas. Maybe wants to even the comm count. And now Vex... He's currently doing his damnedest to get some damage done. But this front line, all of this Zooey spam is working out really well for him. And Vex now setting himself up with another Cerberus. The Cerberus gonna be born into a world of pain and suffering if it does finish, and it doesn't. And what are these players' economies looking like? Well, Team 2 surprisingly having the overwhelming economic advantage. I guess it makes sense after losing all those T2 mexes to the T1 run-by down there. And the Dawn and Vex really need to get on top of rebuilding themselves up. Now we have a drop over here to the northwest. Oh no, it's a disaster. There's nothing here. Oh, if they target anything but that land factory, this is a straight up disaster. Okay, T2 mechs going down. Oh, is that enough? Is one volley enough? No, it's not. Multiple T2 mechs is gonna go down. Very low investment from Nada. And Nada is just playing a lot better than a 600. I'm guessing that these players just now are getting rated on the 3v3 TMM, so their ratings don't really feel representative at the moment. And Nada at the moment, he's sitting on T2 and gun. Is he going to try and get aggressive with his commander, or does he just want that security of knowing he could use it if needed? Needing it, having it and not needing it is better than needing it and not having it. That kind of mentality. Has some Thoms still running around. It just seems like he has units everywhere. There's just always a unit doing some form of harassing. He's out harassing the two players who should be out harassing him. And that's a whole bunch of Nathas coming in. They could go for the Calm of the Dawn. Instead, seemingly focused on something else. What are they changing target to? Are they going for the Dawn? They are. Natha critically can be dodged pretty easily, and you see that on display here for the Dawn, who sends out his own ASFs to try and deal with that. Does eat a couple more shots from the Natha. If you just walk in circles, Natha's almost never hit you. It's another hit. Oh, he's gonna eat maybe another one. Ooh, down to maybe one or two Nathas away from death. But that's one or two more than Nada had to throw at him. And now Nada going for T3 air himself. And do we have anything like a strap bomber on the way? No, we don't. Very surprising out from the Dawn, very reserved. Seeing that a lot lately, players who just have massive advantage on getting to the T3 phase and not going for strap bombers. Maybe he will here soon. I mean, it's not like there's going to be a huge ASF presence in a couple of minutes, because there isn't. It's going to take him a minute or two just to get the T3 air factory online. Then he's going to need a power generator. That's a bunch of Zooies trying to get some damage done over here, but they're just going to run into some heavy direct fire resistance. And now we're kind of in this waiting game phase of the game. This run by of Zooies, as I said, just going to go down. Overall reclaim numbers, Nada in the lead at 5.2 thousand. Reclaim really hasn't been a priority for anybody in this game, it feels. And of course, overall incomes, Nada now over 200 mass a second and still massively out-ecoing the opponents. Sitting on a very good position so far. And of course, down here to the southeast, another run by of units, this time the Dawn in control. Gonna start getting some damage done. It seems as though Nada just believes that T1 artillery is the best unit in the game, because he's just building so much of it. And that might be a bit of a mistake here. I mean, with proper micro, these Zooies will be very ineffective, but I don't think proper micro is coming. And PD creep now starting to come in from Vex. Very, very heavily invested into PD creep. And Dawn continuing to push with T1 units in towards the base of Nada, but Nada now has Ilshivas coming off the line. And the Zooies, since all of these units from the Dawn are stopping or just moving in straight lines, are getting tons of value. So the only bad thing about this is that the Zooies will leave very little, if any, reclaim on any of these units. So not going to be a ton of reclaim on his front door. Not that if he wanted reclaim, he couldn't get it. And air control heavily in favor of the northern team. Still no strat bomber. A strat bomber now finally on the way, unless that's... Oh, that is a strat bomber. T3 air still yet to finish up for Nada. He's saying to reclaim mexes, wants him to rebuild those. And the middle plateau and overall map control heavily in favor of the northern team. but they're struggling to scale their economies as quickly as Nada has managed to scale his. I mean, he has made some mistakes, but we can forgive it. Like, you know, this. It's a bit of a mistake, but you gotta forgive things. And he has T3 UEF tech on the field building Titans and Demolishers. Gonna go ahead and take a drink. Make sure you stay hydrated and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You all are all so beautiful. And of course, we're now starting to see Gunther's thrown up by Vex. Vex is throwing down the gauntlet, saying, you have to stop my T2 artillery, or you're going to just be absolutely demolished. And the T2 artillery, T3 mobile artillery out from Nada, it's coming out, but it's doing this risky play of sitting itself down. Well, too close to each other, honestly. One artillery shell can hit all three of those tanks, I believe. Or all three of those demolishers, I believe. Now, gonna start spreading them out a little bit more. And the artillery fire coming in. This is all T1 spam, so it's not gonna be particularly effective, as the Dawn now has a strat bomber. What is he going to do with it? What is his ambitious plan? T3 air still not done for Nada. But his teched up T3 mexes do have shields, and they would take multiple passes. And the strat bomber is seemingly just patrolling. Micro is an afterthought, it would seem. And a Cougar has come online, and ooh, going for a factory there. Large fight breaking out as well, and it's going the way of Nada. He's cleaning up all the T1 spam. Would love to see some reclaiming engineers getting into that field there. Those two T3 air factories going down. The Cougar close to killing off the strat bomber, but doesn't seem too interested in necessarily doing so. And the T1 land factories, they may all go down. But no, does get shot down. And these ASF just flying over the enemy base. Cougar's going to be able to take some pot shots at them. Probably won't get too many of them though. And Vex has been pushed back, I think mostly down to this Demolisher spam and some of the Ilsheva / Titan aggression showing up there. Apparently that strat got hit by a Zooey, which, you know what, it kind of makes sense. It was flying right over him. Poor little thing, sitting there in the dirt. Although it is Seraphim, so I don't particularly care. And this strat bomber over here, maybe it'll have more ambitious plans. Maybe it'll do just a little bit more. We'll have to see. Alright, T1 mechs, good start. Now it needs to go in and get some amount of real damage done. Hits a shield, and then hits nothing. It's gonna die. It's gonna go over Cougars and flak. Yeah, the strat bombers aren't really the play anymore. There's enough AA and shields. This Cougar, 14 kills on a Cougar. $14 kills on a Cougar. That is insane. 3 ranks of veterancy. And that is a Zutham installation. He's starting to build up some flak. His T3 air finished up, so can build some ASF now. And Vex seemingly lost more of his base since the last time we looked. And I'm not quite sure to what. More T1? More T1, I guess. Or he's just forgotten to rebuild it. And overall, the game state is relatively even. Team 1 has taken the lead economically, mostly down to the Dawn getting double-capped T3 mexes online. And that's a lot of T2 transports. Wonder what it's for. Because he doesn't have anything to put on the transports. At least not at the moment. And there's a lot of ASF over here. What is he doing? What are these? What? He selected all of his air units. And Gunther spam going up to try and stop the Demolishers, but the Demolishers are getting a VIP red carpet treatment of a bunch of shields to protect them as they move forward. Making the UEF proud is this Seraphim player. It seems as though all of the transports were shot down. Yeah, this is the transport graveyard over here, and of course, Strat Bomber coming in, dropping its bomb, dropping its payload. It's killed 5 units and 400 mass worth of units, and that is about as effective as any Strat Bomber has been this game. You gotta love the lower level play. You gotta just respect that this is the level of play that most players have, and it's really fun to watch sometimes because you can never predict. You can always predict what a pro player is going to do. Pro players, when they surprise you, it's the game of the century. Because pro players do the same thing every game. They just, most effective tactic, they're going to win the game through good play. Low-level players are going to win the game by being crazier than the other low-level players. And that's why it's great to watch these level of games. Because it's very interesting to see. And Demolishers over here. Surprisingly, T3 Mobile Artillery is not, in my opinion, that easy of a unit to use, especially if you're not Aeon. Aeon is playing with T3 Artillery, is playing on easy mode because it fires while moving. But the Demolishers here, I think he's just attack moving or something, and it's really, really working out for him because he's just pushing back Vex. He's pushed back Vex so far back that Vex is back in his main base. And he's clearing off this middle plateau with just Demolishers. It's very impressive play coming out from Nada. Or Nada. Nada. Who cares? Tomato. Nada. You know, same difference. And the Demolishers continue doing what their name implies, demolishing. And that's a Quantum Gateway. Yeah, it seems the Dawn has just decided that the late game is the only part of the game they're interested in playing. Has a bunch of Strat Bombers. Surprised. At this point, it's getting kind of dicey. We might just see the Dawn go for a Strat Snipe and end the game. we will have to see. I really like this Demolisher play out from Nada. It is so good. So much fun to watch. So, what are you going for with this Quantum Gateway? Come on, Dawn. Lay it on me. Over here to the southeast, Titans killing Ilshivas. It's a very relaxing, calm game. So, as I see it right now, what do we expect to see? Well, we expect to see all of these strat bombers right here. What are they going to do? Well, they're going to bomb something. I think, personally, if I had to guess, they're going to fly directly across the map towards the enemy commander or towards the airbase. And they're going to fly right over this big ball of Cougars. And the big ball of Cougars is going to... Well, it's going to show you why Cougars were added to the game. Because they were added to the game to protect T3 land forces from strat bombers. They're basically designed to kill strat bombers. They're not good against the other air attack units. I mean, they'll kill them, but they're not efficient at doing so. So, I think these strat bombers are going to fly over a bunch of Cougars and die. Now, I could be wrong. But that's my guess. Now, we also have a Fat Boy completed by Nada. And that's going to be very, very good, because he's already shown a propensity for using mobile artillery, and the Fat Boy is kind of the pinnacle of mobile artillery. So, he should just continue trucking on with the Fat Boy, with the mobile artillery. Should maybe get up a little bit more in terms of Titans, Percivals, things to go in front of the artillery. But he doesn't necessarily have to. He can just keep building shields across the map and protect his stuff. And all of the strat bombers came out here to the western side of the map to get kills onto Zooies. Honestly, what I thought was going to happen was pretty embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. He lost 3 strat bombers for a Zooie. Tell me, that is the best trade deal in the world for Nada. All of the strat bombers are dead, and they killed 1 Zooie. That, I don't know what to say. That's amazing. I love that. I think the Dawn should stop building strat bombers. My advice for him would just be like, learn to strat bomb or stop building them. Because all of that mass could have been thrown into basically anything else. A chicken. A Fat Boy. I don't know how many strat bombers that was, but it wasn't cheap. And over here to the south, we have a large group of Titans for the Dawn pushing forward, and it's going to be met by a equally large group of Titans out from Nada. Actually, not equally large, slightly less large, but still large. It's all Titans, would be weak to Percivals. Yeah, but by the time he has all the Percivals, the Titans will already be dead because he has a Fat Boy, and that'll deal with it. Or you could just build T2PD right here and be fine. And we have 4 more strat bombers. I'm excited to see what they achieve, because I'm sure it's going to be great. And Titans on Titans. That's what we have here. Who's winning? I can't tell you because I can't really see their colors. Seems as though the Dawn's Titans are doing slightly better because there are more of them. But he's walking into he's walking into Nada's Calm and a bunch of T1 PD. And he's not going to notice the T1 PD. He's just going to walk into it. And he's going to walk into the enemy shields. And what are the strat bombers doing? Oh, they killed that land factory because that was the utmost highest priority thing to kill. Fuck you in particular, Mex. That mech's... Oh, a land factory and a T2 mechs for 5 strats. Oh no, it was only 3 strats, because some of the strats did make it out alive. These 2 strats are going to be the most effective strats of the game, taking off half the HP of a Fat Boy. And these Scorchers are going to take off more than half the HP because they're just going to kill it. There we go. Despite everything I'm saying, the airplay is actually working. Like, he's getting some amount of value for it. And since nobody in this game really likes reclaiming, except for the Dawn apparently, it's not really that bad. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, Strat Bomber? Oh, you're turning around in front of Sam's. Okay. Oh. Hey, demolishers. Wow, these couple of Strat Bombers have actually been quite effective. I am surprised. I take back all of my things. Keep building Strat Bombers. They do work. You just need a lot of them. Oh, holy ball of Cougars. Now that's a lot of Cougars. Is it Miami? Are we watching something from Miami? Oh. That's an almost dead T3 air land HQ. Wow. It really is just a case of, like, throw enough shit at the wall and some of it's got to stick, isn't it? Oh, he's not going to kill the T3 air HQ, land HQ, I mean. That's a lot of Cougars. Oh, monkey see, monkey do! Vex saw how efficient that Nada was with the T3 mobile artillery, so he had to build his own. So he's built a bunch of trebuchets. Does he understand why the T3 artillery worked, though? That's the question for the ages. T3 HQ doesn't die because it got repaired in that short amount of time. Do the Strat Bombers get another pass? I mean, they'd need two more Strat Bombs to kill that off. And shield goes online. Wow, T3 HQ lives. Stunning. Oh, he's not just throwing them into the enemy. So he does vaguely get the concept. He can afford it. Was that to kill the Fat Boy? None of these have any veterancy. That is the most expensive Fat Boy deterrent I think I've ever seen. An air fight ensues. The dozen or so ASF between the two teams are all gonna die because the air fight's gonna kind of be won by Dawn, and then he's gonna fly everything over Cougars. Can all of you all, like, fire at something? Can Dawn throw something over you? Oh, hey look, a fight! Oh, yes. Give me that sweet, sweet, beautiful combat goodness. as you can see, the Titans out from the Dawn are trying really hard to kill everything on the other side, but it doesn't work when the enemy team just has a bunch of shields. Come on, fire one more volley. Well, all the broadswords died. That's the only important thing that we gained from this. And, that just left a casual 49,000 reclaim on screen. Let's zoom in to make sure the fat boy isn't there. Yeah, still 49,000 reclaim. All those Cougars are going to keep that fat boy safe. Believe you me. Oh, we have a chicken on the way for Dawn. And still a lot of strap bombers. He went and got T3 UEF Air to build broadswords. And now the Dawn strikes by running away. I forgot that this was Nada and this was the Dawn. And Vex is still sitting on... I'm just curious. Oh, nearly 10,000 mass worth of tactical missile launchers. And he's overflowing mass because he has full T3 mexes that are uncapped. Well, now he's building a disruptor. Vex feels lost. Alright. When all these strap bombers inevitably get right-clicked onto this fat boy, I need to slow down time. The Cougars got scared and ran away from the fat boy. Obesity is scary. And who can blame them whenever a bunch of T3 units like Percivals and Titans show up? Oh, his commander alone has almost built a chicken, which is quite funny to me. He's working on another fat boy. Ras boy is coming out like no tomorrow for the Dawn. The Dawn now has the highest eco in the game. So Nada really looking like he's struggling to figure out how he wants to handle this game. It looked like he really had the winning formula for a while, but the airplay out from Dawn and just he doesn't need to be efficient, just throw enough shit at the wall. Strategy from the Dawn is really starting to work out for him. I gotta say, more shit counters less shit, and right now he has more shit. Where was that experimental? That was the fat boy finishing up. 2 fat boys now up against the Dawn's forces. If he can get up enough fat boys, could be in a very good position here. The Cougar ball is still running away from all of the enemies. All of these kennels are going to go down. Very sad. And I just start seeing little kennel bots dying over here. Yep, there's 2. And yeah, this force is going to get cleaned up eventually. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me all of the ASF are about to fly over all the Cougars. Oh, that's a lot of strap bombers. Chicken is at 95%. Oh, the Cougars have been split up to go different ways. Fancy. And the double Fat Boy has worked relatively well. And that's a massive tactical missile battery launch to kill... what exactly? Yes, that was worth the mass. Oh no, will the Cougars hit that cliff? There's actually a good chance of that happening. There's so much air right here, he just needs to... well, I guess he can't right-click on the comm. He could just right-click on anything and it dies. And the Titans are going to push forward yet again. And the Fat Boys are going to continue to gun them down with their own Titan support. There's now a chicken walking in for the dawn. The Fat Boys should be as simple as right-clicking them with, oh! The gunships are coming in. Alright. 1 second. We need to speed it up just until they get here, and come on. Fire another volley, all you Cougars. I want my thumbnail. It's very beautiful to watch. Alright. That's a lot of Cougars, boys. All right, there we go. I'm done slowing down the game for Cougar shots. I know that everybody likes Cougar shots. Now, of course, the broadswords. Yep, they're getting gunned down. And of course, Fat Boy. Fat Boy's gonna really make this chicken Fat Boy, or this chicken on chicken fight one-sided. Although the chicken for Nada gonna lose a lot more HP than I was expecting. And all of the strap bombers are trying to ground fire Nada's comm. Unfortunately, that won't work. Oh. Ouch. Just ouch. Just general pain and discomfort. Not gonna go for torpedo bombers, eh? Strap bombers are the only option. Well, if you say so, boss. All of these are fully loaded. And Nada is continuing to try and fight it off with Fat Boy. I don't really know if he has a plan to end the game. Also, why is he still building T3 gens? When you're making, you know, 60,000 extra power, I don't think you need it. I mean, if he started building lines of mass fabs, T3 mass fabs, he'd need it. That would be the play. Basically build a bootleg Paragon. So what is the plan? Another experimental has been finished. It's another Fat Boy. It's 3 Fat Boys. The entire base of the Dawn has been given to Vex. Why? Well then. The Dawn has gotten tired of bashing his head against the wall, and now it's the Vex's turn. And Vex is going for Novaxes. That might be the play, honestly. Although I feel like if the enemy team gets up, you know, a chicken and 5 Fat Boys before you get 3 Novaxes, you lose. I mean, we're already getting to the point where the Fat Boys that are alive and the chicken are a bit insurmountable for the forces Vex has at his disposal. Although he is now just starting to build nothing but Percivals, which is kind of the play. He's gonna have to build Sams and anti-air everywhere, but Nada's got a plan. And Vex also has a plan, and it's Novaxes. He has 3 Fat Boys, and there is really not enough. There's not enough land to stop him, I feel. I think that Nada should just push forward with all the Fat Boys. It's probably a game-winning play. The Novaxes won't kill it in time. The air might be able to kill it in time, but that requires... I mean, he has a lot of Cougars. Just keep sending Cougars forward. He has a lot of HP and shields on those Fat Boys. And the Disruptor is firing onto the power grid. Nada only has a spare 60,000 power. So, you know, he's really hurting for it. Novax now firing onto the Fat Boys. A Fat Boy now on the way for Vex. I love how we still have a Mantis Rex over here, and you know they've been there the entire game. And the defense satellite working on a Fat Boy. And it will get it eventually. But more likely the Percivals here will do enough damage. And that Disruptor, it's really starting to do a number onto the power grid. I'd be worried for Nada. That's a Fat Boy done, and another Novax on the way, another Disruptor on the way as well. The standoff technology coming out from Vex is getting a little bit scary. The Fat Boy production is ceased. Is Nada even spending mass? No, he is currently not. Wait, did that original Fat Boy die? If it did, where? Did it already get reclaimed? Is that why he was at like 2,000 mass a second? I guess, yeah. the Fat Boys continue to try and push forward, but the Novax is just going to focus them down one by one. And that's gunship starting to come out. They're not going to do too well up against the Cougars. And now multiple Fat Boy groups moving around the map. Another Novax satellite is online. He's spread out the Fat Boys so that way the Novaxes have to spread out to get anything done. These gunships will eventually kill the Fat Boy, I think. I don't know. The Fat Boy does have anti-air, but it's kind of pitiful. And it just requires a few ASF to kill off all those gunships. Fat Boy on Fat Boy action over here, but there's a Novax throwing a wrench into the plans of Nada. As this Fat Boy in the middle has died already to the Novax. And it's starting to look maybe just a little bit too much for Nada to deal with. And the Fat Boy over here has gone down. Is he using the artillery to target Fat Boys? He totally is, isn't he? Those are like disruptor shell shots, I think. And this Fat Boy gonna make it underwater, but it's not gonna mean too much for it. Artillery shells continuing to rain down. A chicken has been completed and more are queued up. Seems he's worried about the possibility of a nuke, and there is a nuke finished for the other side. If the Novaxes and the Disruptor focus on the anti-nuke, that could be game. Sorry if you heard my chair there. Really need to get a new chair. This one's so squeaky. Fat Boy moving into the middle. Fat Boy already in the middle for Vex and about to be chased down by Titans. So the Percivals here will most likely kill the Titans pretty well. I don't know. It's a lot of Titans, so I think the Percival's going to go down. Gunship's going to move in to help out. And Titans decide to fall back. And Fat Boy on Fat Boy action. The Fat Boy over here for Vex doesn't manage to get his shield back online in time. Second Disruptor is finished up. And these two Novaxes are starting to deal some real damage onto Nada. And Nada is massively behind economically, really can't afford it. Chicken gonna move forward, but it's just gonna go down. The overwhelming AA fire coming out or overwhelming gunships coming out from Vex. Some ASF will be scrambled. The chicken will try and get underneath a shield. It might be too little, it might be too late. Nope, not if they switch their focus onto a different experimental. Spread their damage perfectly so that way they kill nothing. And standoff technology just seems to be getting a little bit too much for Nada to deal with. Fat Boy re-emerges over here to the east, but there's probably enough broadswords here to just kill it off pretty quickly. And Volthus here trying their best. The experimental pushes for Nada just not working out. And it's getting real difficult to see how he could pull away with a win on this one. Although I guess the gunships can only really focus down one of the experimentals at a time, but that's an Awasa, which kills off a bunch of broadswords, but does kill off the fat boy there. And is it going to fly over all the Cougars? It drops its bomb. But the bomb impacts on the shield, which means it doesn't blow up fully. I don't understand how that interaction worked. But the bomb out from the Awasa didn't really do too much there. Drops another bomb, but the Cougars take it down! Oh, you have to be kidding me. That boy makes it to the base, but it's gonna die right outside it. Cougars weren't there to protect preemptively from the gunships. Oh! Oh, no. Won't be enough. But now there's another chicken coming in. And the Air Force right now for Vex not looking strong enough to stop a chicken. Especially with all this Cougar support. Nada may have found the winning keys to victory. Needs to just be careful about his commander and I guess try and keep the shields up as long as possible. The multiple disruptors here really starting to become an issue. But I just don't see how Vex stops the Cougar chicken combination. And the Percival's coming out of the factory here. They're not going to be enough, but a nuke is launched. As long as this force continues to move forward and doesn't slow down, I don't even think the nuke will be great as a point defense option. The Novax is now under threat. And that's going to be huge. The Cougars are still in here. They're still going to be able to protect them. And the chicken just doesn't really have an answer. There are Ravagers going online. The Dawn shows up with the commander to try and help out. The Dawn's commander won't survive too terribly long if it's focused, but the SCUs are throwing up Ravagers as quickly as possible. If he can get a good death ball or two in here and cause a chain explosion on these Ras boys, it's exactly what he needs. Oh, are they gonna chain? Does get some significant damage done in the base there. Most of these Ravagers that were built will go down, and there's another chicken walking forward. Another strategic launch detected, and the anti-nuke is down. And that may just be it for Nada. And that's a brick killing a Cougars. Chicken's gonna try and push forward here. I'm not sure what it's gonna be able to get. I didn't really watch that. I should have. I'm sorry, I'm zoning out. It's been a long game of ups and downs and brain-breaking decisions. Nada has played so incredibly well, but it seems like it's not gonna be enough. The chicken continuing to push forward. Is it going to get hit by the tactical missile launchers? No, it will not. And, oh, that's just too many gunships. Although, the ASF coming in, the ASF going to be very slow at killing off all of that. Needed some flak to go with this chicken. The Volthus will deal a decent chunk of DPS. And the chicken will exact a pound of flesh. But it's also going to decide to walk right next to very volatile buildings. Seems as though he wants to try and get it into that artillery line, and it may be able to manage it. Oh, he's getting the death balls off. Oh, the artillery is still a little bit of HP left, can fire off a death ball, kills off all of the disruptors. Nada with a hero play, shuts down all of the artillery from the other side of the map. It is still building chickens. He still has 300 mans a second. His power economy is not what it once was, but it's still enough. The Iwasa's coming in. The Iwasa's gonna fly over a bunch of SAMs. Like, a bunch of SAMs. But it's gonna drop its payload right here on top of the shield that was protecting Nada. And then it's gonna fly over a bunch of flak. Because that always goes well. And the strategic launch is detected, and I don't know if Nada can move his comm out of the way. He's gonna try. Oh no. Oh no, Nada. Oh no, he's going for the reclaim. And that's gonna be game. Thank you all so much for watching. A little bit anticlimactic, but what you gonna do? That's the game. He went for the reclaim. He got greedy. Thank you to the Patreons and channel members. Thank you all for joining me for this epic. Like, subscribe, comment. You all are so beautiful. I'll see you in the next one. This is Willow, signing off.